A drunk driver who was speeding and showing off when he crashed, killing his teenage passenger, has been told to expect a long jail sentence. 17-year-old Felicity Pacey died at the scene from chest injuries. Jack Burkill, who was 20 at the time, admitted causing death by dangerous driving in the crash on Beaver Road near Grantham last June. He was driving at 100 miles an hour shortly before the crash. Well, sentencing has been adjourned until the end of next month. And it is tragic circumstances like this which has prompted one driving instructor from Grimsby to call for restrictions on new drivers, saying it could save lives on the roads. Kevin Dias has added his voice to a campaign for graduated licences, which would put restrictions on people who have just learned to drive, including how many passengers they can have in the vehicle. Philip Norton has this report.
Your first wheels can be fun, but for young drivers it can often end in serious injury or death. If not for them, for passengers or others on the road.
Series RTC.
Kevin Dias is a driving instructor and also the chair of Grimsby Instructors Association. He wants to see tougher restrictions on new drivers to lower casualty numbers.
I think we need to re-look at what we do for younger drivers, because they are younger. A bit of the brain that deals with risk is towards the front. Our brains develop from the back, so it is the last part of the brain that actually begins or finishes developing.
Government figures show a fifth of all fatal or serious injury crashes involved a young driver, with those aged between 17 to 24 4 times as likely to be killed or seriously injured as those over 25. Kevin's had a personal experience with one of his students.
There was a lad that I took for about 5 or 6 lessons. Even at that time, could I recognise an underestimating of risk? He did go on to have the crash. He survived it. He was left seriously injured for quite some time, but it killed his female passenger.
Your mate's more likely to crash with passengers in the car.
One idea he embraces is a graduated driving licence for young drivers, which could see restrictions on things like passenger numbers and driving at night.
For the night is a different beast.
I think it's a good idea because they take their lessons, they pass their tests and they're driving nicely, and the minute past their tests, well, they're young.
You've got your test next week. How would you feel if you couldn't take passengers straight after it?
For me personally, it wouldn't bother me that much. I'll only be commuting to and from work and maybe going to my mates here and there, so it wouldn't really bother me that much, but it differs from person to person.
Government needs to take a hand on this and think we need to do something different here. We need to look at these graduated licences. They work in lots of other countries. Let's find one that works for us and go forward with it and lead something here.
The government currently says it has no plans to introduce a graduated licence, but says it's researching support for young drivers.
Boys, chill out back there.
And targeting them in road safety campaigns. Philip Norton, BBC Look North.
Let the mate concentrate.
Yeah, so interesting to talk about. This is a good fact from the AA. 1 in 5 new drivers will crash within a year of passing their test. 1 in 5 new drivers.